very good morning to you. Today, the second day in February 2022. It's Tuesday, the second day as well of Panorama this week on the Integrity Station Splash 106.7 FM. And of course, you know that Panorama is our political program that airs every weekday from Mondays to Fridays. And we always begin with our issue of the day, where we take an introspective and comprehensive look at any issue in any corner of Nigerian society, so long as you're Nigerian and it affects your life directly or indirectly. We'll talk about it on Panorama, and that's from 8 to 9. From 9 to 10, we then take up with newspaper review from the pages, where we browse through the front page of national dailies, bring you the headlines, go a little deeper down the headlines to bring you the details, as well as some analysis often provided by our public affairs analysts in the studio. And that forms the entire package that is Panorama. But good morning to you, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lola Meduteni.
Great to be here, 2nd of February 2022. My name is Benga Fayem. Thank you very much for joining us for another dose of everything politics, everything current affairs, and of course, everything that you need to know about happenings from Ogun State, from Abeokuta, around the world, Africa, and, basically, it's about you getting informed, and as a result of you listening to the show, you know what you have to do to make the world a better place. And that's what this is all about, basically. So thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. And of course, he probably thought I will mention this. Happy birthday to Gringa Fayon. Today's his birthday. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
I wish you the best in life.
Thank you very much.
Fulfillment of all your heart's desires.
She sent my bank account.
Gringa is a great colleague, and he's a great colleague. So he deserves it. So send in all your birthday wishes and felicitations, and even, gifts.
Yes. That part is important,
because it's going to spread around to everyone at the station. I'm sure I'm not the only one wishing him a happy birthday. Everyone here at Splash knows what a lovely colleague he is, and on behalf of all of us, because I happen to be the one here, happy birthday to you, Gbenga Fayon.
Thank you.
The bearded one.
Yeah. We can reserve that for what some people tag the not so serious shows. But yeah, okay. On Panorama, let's do what we have to do.
Let's get on with it. All right then. Today we'll be taking a look at internet fraud and the launch of OP Mesa, which we spoke about yesterday and on Monday as well. We've been telling you that that's going to be our topic of discussion today, and we think it's pertinent, not just because OP Mesa was launched less than 2 weeks ago, relaunched actually. Yeah. Yes, because the previous administration had already launched OP Mesa, but supposedly it was moribund. But internet fraud has been rife in Nigeria for a long time, but it's now seemingly even more pronounced, and it also has a lot to do with what we talked about on Monday, which is ritual killings, because as you know, internet fraud in Nigeria is often two-faced, which is Yahoo Yahoo and Yahoo Plus. And Yahoo Plus often involves ritual killings, from what we are led to believe. So this is what we're going to talk about this morning. You can join us via social media channels. We are live on Facebook, live streaming on Facebook, Splash FM 106.7. You can watch us there, listen there, and also comment there as the mood strikes. On WhatsApp, the number to comment with comment at is 0817555167. That's the WhatsApp number. And for Twitter, we're now on Twitter Space, so you can not just listen on Facebook, you can also listen on Twitter. If you find our handle Splash FM 1067, you will find that we're live on Twitter Space. Click in, listen, and then tweet at us with the hashtag Panorama. Okay, so those are the ways you can follow along on the show today.
That's what it is. All right, so we'll move straight to what we have to talk about. Like Lola rightly referenced, the relaunch of OP Mesa and, of course, internet fraud.
Call it by whatever name. Internet fraud, advanced fee fraud, cybercrime, or good old Yahoo Yahoo. The concept remains the same. an illegal activity that involves using online services and software with access to the internet to defraud or take advantage of victims with the intention of accruing ill-gotten money.
In March 2021, Nigeria ranked 16th in the FBI International Cybercrime Report, coming after United Kingdom, Canada, and India, that ranked first, second, and third, respectively. In a similar vein, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, disclosed that as at September 2021, 80% of its 978 convictions were connected to cybercrime and cybercrime-related offenses, an attestation to the alarming rate of cybercrime in Nigeria.
That youths in Nigeria are obsessed with money, material things, and the fastest ways to wealth is no longer news. The Yoruba adage, Ishe logun ise, work is the antidote to poverty, appears to have no place in a modern Nigeria where young people want to get rich quickly and are willing to eschew any moral or religious principles in order to do so.
In Ogun State, this new deviant way of life is perhaps more prevalent than in other states. The governor recently said that he was told by the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission that Ogun State tops the list on the, quote, Yahoo Yahoo boys at the relaunch of the state joint security outfit codenamed OP Meza.
As issue of the day, we'll be taking a look at internet fraud and the relaunch of OP Meza. And to have that conversation with us is a journalist, a brave journalist, an intrepid journalist, as well as a public affairs analyst, Daud Olatunnji, who needs no further introduction, really. Good morning to you, Daud.
Lola, good morning. I'm blushing. Am I brave?
Yeah, no, you're brave. I mean, reporting takes a lot of courage.
Also, on behalf of my colleagues at the NUJ, I also wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you so much, sir.
And a happy return. So, listener, I also say good morning to us.
All right, Daud, let's begin with what the governor said. As I said, internet fraud is now very pronounced. You know, there's really a day or 2 days that go by without you seeing a headline about a raid involving fraudsters being caught, especially in Ogun State. I mean, it wasn't all too long ago that the EFCC raided a popular hotel here in Ogun State. And allegedly, the narrative the EFCC gave is that they were holding an award ceremony for Yahoo boys. And even before that, back in September as well, EFCC over 50 or found over 50 fraudsters at hotels in Ogun State. And even at the time, they said they accused the hotels of complicity, of accommodating and hiding these fraudsters. But what the governor said, the chairman of EFCC told him about Ogun State topping the list of Yahoo boys. Do you believe that to be true? Is there anything you've seen or that you think will make that, a credible statement?
Thank you so much. Mr. Governor has joined the league of those who sit at their offices or their houses and then get facts from foreign bodies. In Nigeria today, if you want to get some statistics, we rely on all these UNESCO, all those foreign bodies. Mr. Governor did not need to wait for the chairman of EFCC to tell him about this menace, because it has been happening very close to his office. And then I don't know if he has a strong intelligence.
Are you referring to his aide, Abidemi Rufai?
No, I'm not even. I'm talking about even the hotels, where the last operation, sting operation, was carried out, very close to his office. So there's no way. He's the chief security officer of the state. He gets security report regularly. So we should not sell that dummy to us. However, the issue has been on for years, and then it's getting worse. It's getting worse. So that statement came from a stakeholder, an insider, because somebody that is leading EFCC definitely have reliable information. So we want to say that information is reliable, because they will have to rely on the statistics given to them. Ranking Ogun State as top in Yahoo Yahoo or internet fraud it's not strange to us, because even as reporters, something happened even in our secretariat, and UG secretariat. A very small boy, I'll call it a boy because it's about 17 years, came to Iweroyin with a exotic car, and a few minutes after he arrived, some boys stormed his secretariat. They said they have been looking for him, that they are together. He said they asked him to help them to finish a job, and he concluded that job. He traveled to Dubai, so they have been trailing him. As soon as they got that hold of him, that he was in Iweroyin, and you said that they stopped. You know what now shocked us? Within the blink of an eye, this boy made a call. We don't know the person he called. 2 soldiers arrived to protect him. And before we called Jack Robinson, another 2 policemen also came, all to give him protection. So those boys could not even harm him, because the boy was under a very strong protection. So if you want to treat this issue, there are so many stakeholders, there are so many areas we need to look into. Internet, the invention of internet is not a bad thing. In fact, it's a blessing. It's supposed to be a blessing for us to make our job easier.
Right.
We have the good and the bad of the internet. So if some people choose to go in the line of bad aspect, which you ask a question, where is the orientation? Who is giving them that orientation? I know some hackers. They are legitimate hackers. It's a cause. It is so all these things are not bad things. For instance, hacker to hack someone's system is illegal.
Yes.
But there are some legal hackers that they train them. What they train them for is to protect the system, and there are causes for it. What I observe is the youth. Some of these youth that succeed in this Yahoo Yahoo are very, very brilliant. That menace, that issue is not for a dollar person. Sincerely, it's for intelligent people. The is our government has failed. Failure to convert that intelligence to positive things. Sincerely, if I've interviewed some suspected fraudsters, we got to know that it is not what someone can do. You have to prepare for it. You have to read, you have to study, you have to learn. And so if government is serious, what it does need to do is to now know how to convert this. But there's no way government can fight it all. But government can still curb it. Encouraging people, like they have tech hub in Ogun State.
That's right.
Why can't the Ogun State government, why can't it make very optimal use of them? They can, through this tech hub, they can get all these cyber criminals, all those stuff. They may not punish all of them. They can rehabilitate them, giving them good orientation, and then they are useful to society. If you want to talk about cybercrime in Nigeria, it has come to stay. Because that's not, but what we just need to do is to now look at how to give a proper orientation to our youth. There is weight on the internet. It depends on area you want to go. I was listening to this station, but not yesterday. They are talking about people freelancing, all those remote jobs. Right. There are so many lucrative jobs, businesses, works on the internet. So it is for the government to assemble this wizard, this expert, and say, okay, how best can we open the eyes of this youth to so many opportunities that you don't need to engage in all these illegal activities. There are other things that you need to do in your room. You can do it, provide services, and then get your dollars. So even as far as if journalism is concerned, there are so many areas. They are just too much. So even engineering, any For instance, somebody wanted to. He said he did not know how to prepare ikokore. For instance, what he just did, he just punched that question on it, and then they brought it for her, and then all these things are surfaces that can be converted to success and then to help the government. So Operation Hope Meza, yes, you should commend Mr. Governor for doing that. It will help because kidnapping cases, all over. So we are very, very happy that, just like Lola rightly positioned, it was not launched. It had been in existence. It went moribund. So what Mr. Governor did was to, what's it called? Reintroduce or revive it. But the question is, you want to fight. Mr. Governor emphasized more on cybercrime, all those stuff. But he said he has given them 15 e-locks. It does not add up, sincerely, because all these people you want them to fight, how fast are they in the knowledge of internet or these cyber activities? Some of these policemen, when they see someone with a very big phone, they will say he's a Yahoo boy. So whereas it is not, they should train the security agents how best to know somebody who is engaging in cybercrime. If somebody plates his hair like a woman, like a female, that does not make him a cyber criminal.
Right.
If somebody dresses somehow, he has chosen to dress like that. That is not enough reason to arrest him. If somebody, a 18-year-old boy or a 17-year-old boy using a exotic car, that is not a crime. The police should not misuse this opportunity, because that is another fear that people are now noticing, that it's like Mr. Governor has given them license to harass people. Some people, no matter the number of their age, how old, how small they are, they can be more successful than their elder ones. So legitimately. So I think there is need for Mr. Governor to make better use of tech up. If you want to fight cybercrime,
right,
that tech up he has inaugurated, he should pump money. He should engage these people. You can get hold of these people. There was a time EFCC stormed Abeokuta and arrested some guys. I was close to somebody that knows one of them. The person told me that they've asked the family to look for 15 million naira to bail him. I said, for what? You see, there's so many shoddy deals these people are doing. You think that they arrest them? Okay, they arrested it's not a journalist, but he engages in it's a vendor, newspaper vendor. He said he went to that hotel to get something, and then they arrested him. He narrated how it happened. He said after they arrested them, they took them to Ikoyi, that EFC office. He said they seized their phones. They now check their account balances. Anyone whose account balance is huge, they put him aside, that you have to answer a question, that how did you get this? I say it will also be wrong. Somebody can have family abroad, and every week they pay him huge money so that they don't want him to engage in rubbish or all this nonsense. So he said they check his own phone, they observe that all this money just thousands, but those that receive money in millions of naira, they query them. At the end of the day, they release those that are supposed to are clean, and then I don't know what they did for those that are suspected. There is one hotel in Abeokuta, because they were looking for a cyber criminal. They broke into a room and met the lodger almost naked. Now the person now threatened that is going to sue them, but he could not sue, because who are you going to sue? Are you going to sue the commission, or you cannot identify? So I think so many things are wrong. We have to understand the fact that cyber crimes have come to stay for now, but the government must now sit down and say, okay, how best can they engage these cyber criminals. They are not, it's not what anybody or policeman on the road, on the street can say you want to arrest. They can be arrested through their own means. They need to train some people who have knowledge, good knowledge of this, and then they know those who engage in cybercrime and those who, somebody that uses his phone for so many activities, you cannot call the person or somebody because he put on his look at what happened in what was also narrated that UNAP student. They said because he put on generator every time, does it make him a Yahoo boy? If person was dealing in either Bitcoin or those forex exchange, it is legitimate for to engage in that. But how will police identify criminals, cyber criminals, from those that are engaging in cyber activities that are not illegal? So Mr. Governor has revived OP Mesa, but we were happy in one way, we are afraid in another way. Mr. Governor need to take a further step. The further step is to let these people know that it is not a license to harass just anybody on the road, but it is Mr. Governor need to put the operatives of that OP Mesa to facilitate a training, a cyber training, because the major essence of this inauguration is to curb the cyber crimes that Mr. Governor believe is getting too embarrassing for the state. So you cannot just bring people together and say you launch something. They need to be well trained so that they can bust them. It takes a hacker to identify a hacker. Sincerely.
Right.
So somebody who does not know much about cyber operation, internet operation, may not know the real people. Somebody may have a gentle look and maybe if you look at the look of Hush Puppy, you will say is that what was it called? Too, I don't want to say it's a criminal because he has not been convicted. So you cannot see it on people's faces. You can only know through cyber knowledge.
Right. There's an aspect of what the governor said as well at that event that I also want us to look at. In this instance, the governor was simply positing or giving his own opinion on why that ranking is so. He said that that he didn't doubt what the EFCC chairman said because Ogun State is the education capital of Nigeria and has the highest number of arrested by intelligence agencies. The governor's own aide, as I mentioned, now suspended, was arrested for a $350,000 fraud scheme. That's someone close to the governor himself. So it's not just hitting the ordinary citizens. It's the elites. He's not been convicted as well, but the trial is still ongoing. What explains why Ogun State in particular? Do you believe that what the governor is projecting may be the reason? The fact that we have so many educational institutions is the reason? Or do you think there's some other reason or other area we're not looking at as to why Ogun State is home to these fraudsters?
By his name now, Ogun State is the gateway to so many things, both the good and the bad. Sincerely, when politics get to a stage, you now understand. When there is going to be a problem in Southwest, in some part of, you will see the sign in Ogun State. Because Ogun State has some kind of a peculiarity. You see, I don't want to agree with Mr. Governor completely. In fact, when I heard that statement that Ogun State is the state with the largest number of, I wanted to fact check, but I have not, because I know there are two states that also parade a very good number of institutions. But I want to disagree with Mr. Governor that because of the number of tertiary institutions, so that one prompted this ranking. It's not. Because
it's a youth, most times it's a youth crime. It's the young that often do it. Doesn't mean that older people don't do it, but it's more common among the young people.
I will now tell you that some secondary schools are now heavily involved.
They're young too.
I'm saying that they are not in higher institutions, secondary school students. And don't forget that somebody can leave the state and come to the state. may not even be schooling here. So what I observe that is encouraging this is the lackadaisical of the stakeholders. Criminals will look at the state or the place where it's going to be a kind of a haven for them, where they can easily operate. They have seen Ogun State as, Ogun State also has very good number of hotels, and they also see so many things, so facilities are here for them to commit that crime. So it is for the government to make, just like he promised, to make Ogun State inhabitable for the criminals. People can leave Lagos for Ogun State. They can leave Port Harcourt. So that's having the largest number of our institutions contributing or resulting to, or what's it called, making Ogun State to be rank as the top. It's not. It's not, because you can't say because we have a highest number, as he claim, of tertiary institutions, that is why we are ranked as the top cyber criminals in the country. We have to look at what encourages, or what are those things that encourage it. I think the first thing is we have to look at the issue of intelligence. We have to look at how hotels are being operated. There are so many hotels that what they are after is money. They just want to get customers. That they even bait them to do whatever activities they want to do. So you have to look at those things. And then the third one is you also need to look at the activities of the security agents. For instance, before they scrap SARS, I've witnessed it not one, not twice, not even 3 times. They would claim to arrest them. They'll take them to ATM stand. So, and it encourages these people that when they arrest us, they are going to part with. In fact, somebody that was arrested, his friend told us that one of the reasons why he was arrested is that he said it in Yoruba, he said he did not do it to. So he did not, pay his own, what was it called?
Right.
So there are some people that he needed to have, settled, that he refused to settle. That's why so there is need for all the stakeholders, especially the security agents, to be sincere in the fight. They encourage these people because they know that once they arrest them, they don't usually arrested. You know that it will encourage them. If they genuinely convict them, they genuinely create that atmosphere that will not be conducive for them, this thing will not try. However, all these engineers, the engineering experts, should also help us in the sense that there is need to engage in, let me call it evangelism, because some of these people that engage in this cyber crime will know, no matter how small, about engineering, knowing how to treat a system, do some manipulation, and somebody who is not knowledgeable in that aspect cannot do it. So they will have they arrested the guy. He said, I don't need to know your account number, I don't need to know anything about you, I just need to get hold of your SIM. That's all. I can enter anywhere. I have so many people that because of these issues, they don't want to engage in all this electronic banking. They prefer, if you not to have to collect 2,000 naira, they prefer to go to bank and stay in the queue for hours. They say it pays them because of, even the engineers, those who are very, very knowledgeable, they said they cannot, because they've seen that in Nigeria today, if your bank account has not been hacked, you are lucky. It is not that there is a protection for, sincerely. That is why e-wallet, what did you hear about it? They mess it up. There are some hackers that are engineers. That's what you engage in. And initially they will call you that my name is Zizi. Do you know who is calling you from abroad? You cannot remember that your brother. They stop that because they know that one is no more working. What they just do is they'll send the link to you. If you click that link, That's the problem. They enter your, and then the bankers, bank officials too, are also conspiring. There are so that I'm mentioning that for us to fight this cybercrime, there are so many people to engage. A lady cried to us and said that she was engaging in cyber, not all this electronic banking, and she observed that somebody gained access into what's it called, account, and they started withdrawing the money in piecemeal. She said immediately she sent a message and it was received by the bank. She was surprised that the guy, or that either, I don't know, that person continued withdrawing until he now even used bank draft. The bank now called her and said he has to pay the bank draft. So that is where we are now. He said the first withdrawal, she alerted you and you said there's no problem, and the person continued making withdrawal. He withdrew almost 400,000 naira. He did not stop. He still obtained a bank draft. So bank officials are also stakeholders that they also need to be brought into this. Security agents are also the government, even teachers, the IT teachers in information technology, they are also involved, because all these people are taught on this. So there is need for us to assemble these people and say, how best can we tackle this? Because I observe so far is, you continue asking police to arrest them, police will be chasing shadow. The only people they want to arrest, they will stay on the road. If you are very small in age and then you use a car according to them that is bigger than your age, they will arrest you. They cannot now. But what they need to do is to get a special operative that will be on the system, watching for every activity that is going on, either in Abeokuta, for instance. They get some operative that there is no activity that they will not monitor. We were told that if you make a call, you and that person are not the only people getting the message. There is a third unseen person or persons that have the record. That is why when they want to fight crime, so this telecommunication, and they get what you said last year, they can retrieve it. So if we can do that, why can't they use that knowledge to I've also been a victim, sincerely. But when I went to the bank to complain, they said there is no way. The person entered my account and used it to PayPal, sincerely. And I just saw that the money has not been moved from my account, and I rushed to the bank. They said there's no problem. I tell you, there was a serious problem. The money successfully got out of the bank. The bank said they cannot do anything to it. The question I then asked them, I said, if I want to treat, quote unquote, your fuck up, I used that bad line. I said, I know what to do. I'll just use my profession, I'll blackmail you. But I believe that as a Nigerian, I've also paid for that bad thing. So there is need for us to really sit down. Many times they cry to us to come to where you and say that they defrauded them. Say, come. It is not the media you will run to. It is the bank officials that can help you, because there is no way somebody will move money from someone's. It's not possible that the bank will not be aware. They say it cannot be traced. So why will money develop get a wing, and then so I think there are so many. The government will also play its own serious role by facilitating serious cyber training,
right,
for people that they will be paying
Daud,
them.
Speaking of that, the governor did say at the inauguration that the members of the outfit, that's OP Mesa, would be picked to ensure they have the right discipline, as well as ensure that they are committed to the assignment. And regarding the 15 vehicles, as well as 2 armored personnel carriers and communication equipment, and as much as there was a lot of emphasis on cybercrime, there's also other areas that the governor said OP Mesa would be tackling,
Yes.
Kidnapping, banditry, ransom taking, and the like. So perhaps that's for the, other...
But discipline and commitment are not enough, sincerely. You need to add.
Discipline is cybercrime. I mean, if they are
I
disciplined...
say they are not enough.
Oh, okay.
If somebody is disciplined, they does not have that knowledge. They need to have that proper knowledge of that cyber crime. So they need to engage the experts in IT. They should not just bring policemen together and say they want to. Yes, they can fight. Even that kidnapping. When they abducted Senator Yabo Anishulu Ask me how they got that woman out of the oak. The IG, then their IG gave them the GPRS, all those stuff, and they brought it, the what was it called,
The coordinates, the location,
and they located it. Now I put a question to the PPR. I said, why can't you have one? He said he knows that if the police can give all the commands, the state command, that facility to fight kidnapping, they can fight. And these kidnappers, they are also knowledgeable, because they know that if you are using GPRS to link them, they know where you cannot. I went with a commissioner to one of these villages in Obafemi. When we got there, I said, if kidnappers keep anyone here, you have to see the very huge trees, very heavy one. So there is no way any gadget can locate them. I think there is need for the government to look at all the loopholes and then provide the right solution.
Let's announce that information reaching us talks about a certain vehicle that's broken down along Enugada Lafenwa Biri axis, and it's causing some sort of traffic. So
say that area again.
Enugada Lafenwa Biri axis. So for
the
concerned authorities, please, we need you to get to the scene so that traffic can be free once again. Daud would have to get to the phone lines, but I'm hoping you can answer this question in about 3 minutes. I'm looking at all of these. I'm looking at the foundation. Where has the society gotten wrong? I have a few options here. Is it that we're having those who don't have any business getting married just yet in such in such an institution? Or is it that the levels of morals which some feel has dropped is the reason why we're having this frequency of internet fraud? Or is it westernization?
All of the above.
Okay.
We have emphasized certification, putting certificate above education, and we have emphasized words, prosperity above. People don't. For instance, the best student 2 days ago, somebody scored 4.92 in 5.00 scale in Olatunnji University. Ask me how much he was given.
How much?
Less than 100,000. And when I was now asking, when I interviewed, I said, are you encouraged with these? He said, my brother, you know I'm an Igbo boy. I want to do business. Because, so that is just it. They have emphasized words, money, everything has been monetized. They have let us know that you cannot succeed in life unless you are wealthy. So in that society where money is given that priority, there will be crime. Serious crime, because everybody during the interview of these 4 boys that slaughtered that lady, I said, okay, if you have 10 million naira, how will you spend it? It's not that they know how to spend it, but they have been seeing people with exotic cars, living large life. They also want to just live that large life. So the emphasis on certification and then emphasis on prosperity, these are 2 reasons why crimes are on the rise.
Okay, now speaking of OP Mesa, why did it go moribund? Why did it fade into oblivion during the previous administration? And what assurance is there that the governor's reinvigoration of the security outfit, the joint security outfit, will be any different from his predecessors?
It's a special squad. It needs to be funded either every week or every month. It is not that because they pay them their salaries, they expect them to do it. It's a special squad that needs to be specially funded. So when the previous administration did not fund it, that's why the operatives will just go back to their command. So this OP Mesa will continue functioning as long as the current government is interested in it. The interest is that it will fund it. Once you fund it, we have so many fantastic policemen now. It's a combined security agencies,
right?
Military, police, NSCDC, all those stuff. But it has to be well funded. If this current government funds it, it will function.
Let's get to the lines straight away. It's 15 minutes to 9 now. You can get a call us on our topic and our conversation as per issue of the day. We're looking at the relaunch of OP Mesa as well as internet fraud in Ogun State. 0817 444 1067 0704 400 1067 and 0817 555 1067. Those are the numbers you can use to be a part of this conversation. We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
Tajudeen from Agbo.
Tajudeen, thanks for calling. Go on, please.
Yes, good morning.
Go on, we can hear you. Hello? Okay, you might just have to call us again because we can hardly hear anything from your end. You can still try the other numbers as well. The numbers again are 0817 444 1067. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
Good morning. Olatunnji, the Guzman.
Please, you have a minute. 1 minute.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just go straight forward. To be blunt, Mr. Olatunnji, you made mention of rehabilitation. I'm not sure there will be a very slim chance of any reasonable success in trying to give rehabilitation or reorientation a shuttle. The flow of reaping profits and the flow of reaping profits and material prosperity in the line of pure legitimate business, unadulterated legit business, is not that quick and rapid. So nurturing businesses to the point of evident prosperity is a gradual and long-term thing. As a businessman, I know what I'm talking about. So I'm not really sure these guys, who have wasted millions, overnight multi-millions, I'm not sure they could bear such forbearance. So I think our best shot should be, let's forget about these guys that have established themselves. And even as a businessman, ask any person, any line of business where you initially made your first million, it will be very difficult for you to change from switch away completely from that area. Okay. Even these so-called Yahoo guys, if they want to change and they've established business, go and check them. Okay, they still bring this thing underground. So I think we should be trying to looking in the way of correcting the upcoming generation, not these ones that are knee deep in the act.
Thank you very much,
Olabode
for your contribution. 0817 444 1067, 0704 400 1067, and 0817 555 1067. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tajudeen calling back from
All right, Tajudeen, we can hear you now. Go ahead,
yes,
please.
Good morning, Sir Daud Olatunnji. Thanks for your submission. I would like to say that we have people who studied and are certified ethical hackers. They have done these things legitimately, yet the government has not been able to effectively utilize them. Most of them even tend to go abroad looking for how they can actually utilize the skills that they have. So if, in my opinion, if we say that this Yahoo idiot should be tapped into that it should be converted to so, and so, I think this, in my opinion, will increase the power of Yahoo boys, because they will feel that, yes, even if we are caught, there is no problem. We will be converted to become legitimate. Whereas those who have actually studied, spent a whole lot of money to acquire these skills, are still there, not having anything to point to. So, in my opinion, those people should be severely dealt with. Once they are caught, they should be severely dealt with. So it will have a deterrent to us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tajudeen. Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp are still available if you'd like to comment by typing out your thoughts instead. On Twitter, the hashtag is Panorama. Make sure to include it in your tweets. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Uche calling from Lagos.
Uche, 1 minute. Go on, please.
You see, all this money inquisitiveness, crime, immorality, some kind of crime of any sort, is a result of system failure. The system has failed in the that people who doesn't have hope again. There's no hope for the future until when our politicians stop using abroad as their first choice of home. They go to abroad for birthday, they go there for shopping, they send their children to school there for virtually everything. Then they are back in their own home. What skill things are they putting on ground? What hope are they giving for the future? When the people in government have gone abroad to their first choice home and are with me?
Okay.
Yes. So wrapping up is that our own government should try and build their own home and not use abroad for the second home, so that they will put hope for everywhere.
All
right.
That's why crime and immorality is everywhere.
Okay, thank you very much, Chichi, for calling. We appreciate you.
0817-555-1067 is also the WhatsApp number, but you can call that number as well.
Please turn off your radio so we can have a seamless conversation. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My father is my name. I'm
1
calling from
minute.
Abuja.
1 minute.
Yes, to commend the state government. It's a very, very commendable. Now, let me align with what Uche has just said. Because what we are seeing is a product of what the society has produced.
Afolabi, there's a radio very close to where you are. It's interfering.
Our politicians have set a kind of a precedent that is, bringing about all what we are seeing now. Just like Uche has said, they live lavish lifestyle. They, oppress with public funds that they steal. And what do you think that would have impacted on the youth? So that is number one thing. Then number two thing, when we talk about all these Yahoo boys especially, it is not even about hacking anybody's site or account or so. A lot of them, they just go, they call, they use some kind of tricks, they talk to people abroad, and then they collect money from them. A lot of them are not even educated. So my own thinking is this. It is a right thing that these parents are said, when these guys are arrested, they should investigate them.
All right.
If you have money,
please wrap up your thoughts.
Yeah, if you have money that you can't account for, then that person, should be looked into. We need to have a drastic correctional measure.
All right.
In this situation.
Thank you for calling. We appreciate you.
We can take one more call, and then we'll head over to whatever comments we can read online before we have to take a break. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, 15 seconds, Tajudeen from Agbo.
Tajudeen, you've called already, haven't you?
Yes, just 15 seconds. We should be careful pointing and fixing fingers at the politicians alone, because this will not help us in any way. Our politicians are not from the UK. They are Nigerians. We are the product of our bad behavior. It is from amongst us that are politicians. So
all right, your 15 seconds is up. Thank you for that clarification, Tajudeen. We appreciate it. We have comments on Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp. If you'd still like to see this comment from Omotola Oluseson from Okimoson, who says, a wonderful birthday to Gbenga Fayon today. Wishing you many happy returns and health, joy, peace, and abundant blessings. When the economy is okay for the citizens, crime rates would drastically reduce. As the politicians or the democracy practiced in this country is a scam in its own entirety. This brings about all these anomalies happening in the country to get rich by all means. Thank you for your comment. We also have Adetayo Adeniro from Abeokuta, who says, good morning, Lola and Benga. May God bless you guys. Mr. Daud, morning, sir. Happy new month. My take this morning is the issue of cybercrime has come to an end in our society. Like Mr. Daud said, the government of Ogun State has to let OP Mesa know what they are doing and not to see this as an avenue to misbehave or extort money from these bad boys. Thank you for your comment. Obliodo Surakat says, quest for materialism. Okay, well, first he says, congratulations and happy birthday to Mr. Gbenga Fayon. May his unending grace from above abound with him as he celebrates another milestone. We are just deceiving ourselves. Nothing meaningful will happen. It is a mere charade and avenue to be seen to be working. We are yet to attend to the root causes of all these crimes. And until that is done, expect more unbelievables. We have more comments from Surakat as well as other people, but we'll get to the break now. We have a commercial break up now. And when we come back, I will finish up with the rest of your thoughts. But keep tweeting.
We have to thank Daud for
keep sending in your comments.
For being here for this particular segment. Daud, thank you so much for coming. Of course, we'll be monitoring things as regards to payments, of course.
Yes, in the evening, let's know where to meet.
I'm aware that the governor said the vehicles and even the equipment will be funded on a quarterly basis. So I'm sure you'll feed us with updates as things evolve with Operation Mesa. But thank you very much once again, Daud. Let's go on that break. We'll be right back.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
bí a bá ń fọgbọ́n ṣe dandan ká gbé ìgbésẹ̀ pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún rèé tí iléeṣẹ́ àgbàjọ homes and property ní ká gbé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọlọ́gbọ́n torí pé a ò gbọ́dọ̀ sí kọ́kọ́rọ́ kù ọ̀yá dam pressure estate 200,000 ní tẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí 100,000 lẹ́sàn gúúsì estate òṣìẹ̀lẹ̀ àti randa high level phase 2 kọ́pàpẹ́ àti sódẹ̀kẹ́ tuntun phase 2 600,000 ní tẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí 300,000 lẹ́sàn ilẹ̀ ń bẹ ní ìdíòrì blessed city garden 2.4 million naira ní tẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí 1.2 million lẹ́sàn onígangan 1 million naira ní lọ́lọ́ báyìí 500,000 ní gbẹ́tàn rẹ̀ ilẹ̀ oko mọ́lọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ orílẹ̀ lógún ọlọ́run dá 25,000 ní plọ̀tì báyìí ilẹ̀ àgbẹ̀ kọ́bápẹ́ alábàtà ọ̀pẹ́jì 30,000 per plot bẹ́ẹ̀ bára plọ̀tì mẹ́ta ìdajì lẹ́gbàsí ó sì jẹ́ éka lẹ́ra ẹ̀ ó gbòdìdì kan sí 39 NTA road ọgbẹ̀ abẹ́òkúta 07044648338 07044648338 gbé ìgbésẹ̀ lónìí àwọn èsì kọ́kọ́rọ́ kù ọjọ́ kẹwàá oṣù kejì ọdún tá a wà yìí láǹfààní yóò pín.
Nation Entertainment tó gbòde. Ara mi Nation Entertainment yàtọ̀ o. Torí pé ẹ bá fẹ́ gba iṣẹ́ orin bó ṣe quality sound rental servicing of DJ gadgets. Ẹ fẹ́ gba capstar láti kóhunkóhun. Ẹ lọ sí Nation o, Nation Entertainment.
Bàbá rògbèrè àṣẹ ìfẹ́ ojúlówó irinṣẹ́ agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ mọ̀ ń gbàmù. Tó dúró tán tó milẹ̀ títì. Àti ojúlówó irinṣẹ́ orin tó pààyàn lé tó sì bá ìgbà mu. Ilé-iṣẹ́ Nation Entertainment, a subsidiary of Fun Plus Concepts ní kò gbà lọ. Láti lọ máa gba ojúlówó sound equipment fún rental àti musical equipment tó wà fún yíyá lọ́dọ̀ wọn lówó tí ò gani lára. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe musical concert, gbogbo onílé ìjọsìn tàbí ìpàdé ìta gbangba. Nation Entertainment ní kẹ́ ẹ máa bọ̀ láti wá gbà wọ́n lówó tí ò gani lára. Àti oṣù sábìsì irinṣẹ́ DJ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ la ń fi ọkọ̀ kásítà rẹ́ǹtì. A wà ní number 19 Vanguard Street, Adédọ̀tun Abẹ́òkúta. Tàbí kí ẹ pé 0704-146-1536 0814-491-7071 àti 0706-628-8729. Nation Entertainment for sound and musical equipment rentals tó lẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́.
kì í ṣòní kì í ṣàná tí iléeṣẹ́ Obatop Properties Limited ti ń talẹ̀ talé káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn àtàgbègbè ẹ̀ tí wọn ò sì jẹ́nikẹ́ni kulẹ̀ rí. Obatop Properties Limited ti náwó àǹfààní táwọn ará Ìjẹ̀bú ń jẹ dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ará Abẹ́òkúta àtàgbègbè ẹ̀ báyìí o. ẹ̀wọ́n ara lè lẹ́ẹ̀gbẹ́ ìwé lọ́yà lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ perimeter survey plan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ corner piece ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀ tó jàǹfààní ọ̀nà tó já geere dórí ilẹ̀ yín. bẹ́ẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Obatop kì í ṣe lẹ́nu gbó nílùú Abẹ́òkúta ẹ̀ tètè wá ara lẹ́yìn ní Kings and Queen Estate ìlà ọ̀tọ̀tún Landa l'Abẹ́òkúta 500,000 naira péré ní plọ̀tì kan. King Suite Agodo Abẹ́òkúta 500,000 naira per plot. Kings Country Òkè Pa Òkè Mọ́sàn 4 million naira ní plọ̀tì kan. o lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú 5,000 naira kó o sì máa sanwó lẹ̀ rẹ lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ilẹ̀ Obatop ti ń bẹ níjẹ̀bú ń ta warawara. ẹ tètè kọjá lọ sí ọ́fíìsì Obatop Properties Limited ní Bicarbonic Plaza Ayétòrò Road Landa l'Abẹ́òkúta telephone 070-3457-1012 àti 090-6867-1988. Obatop Properties Limited, no more rent, no more tension, be your own landlord.
The excitement and the banter never stops on Sports Cafe. Join with us as we take you through every beat of action and news from tennis to basketball, athletics, boxing and mixed martial arts, Formula One, golf and many more.
Well, it's all about Usain Bolt. 2 meters clear, 3 meters clear, 5 meters clear, and away he goes. He continues on his way towards another gold medal. Watch the clock.
And in the evenings, the round leather ball game is exclusive as we focus on football.
He went for the Panenka penalty and it went horribly wrong, and it's saved by Mendy.
You also stand a chance to win amazing gifts on select days. Sports Cafe airs every weekday by 11:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. on Splash 106.7 FM, the Integrity Station. Join us as we get you in the groove.
Let's talk football. Football!
A wonderful morning starts with integrity. The integrity starts with you.
Splash FM 106.7.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Panorama. This is Splash 106.7 FM, the Integrity Station. We'll have a number of comments to go through from our issue of the day. Our handle Twitter. And here we go with Ofemi, who says, I disagree with the ranking that made city where most of the big internet fraud gurus reside. Where is Ibadan, where younger ones enroll to study Yahoo Yahoo as it's a school? What of Ondo State? Okay. It sends another and says, Ondo State is not different from Ondo State in terms of how Yahoo boys publicly flaunt their ill-gotten wealth. I openly challenge the EFCC chairman to come out and tell us how they arrive at Ogun State being on top of the internet fraud list. James Afuakwe says, I'm surprised when your guest in the studio affirmed that cybercrime has come to stay. The truth of the matter is a crime no matter the coloration given to it. Those he suggested to be trained when they use it for their gain. Well, maybe to do some sort of clarification in that regard, it was talking about how hackers are also legally employed to aid security agents. So that was what he was talking about, not exactly saying cybercrime is a good thing. That's not what he was referencing.
Not to mention, I mean, he's saying cybercrime has come to stay. Most crimes can be reduced to minimum levels, but it's a rare case where, you eradicate it completely. So perhaps what he's saying is that this is the age of the internet, and as long as the internet exists, there will always be people who use it for nefarious purposes.
All right, so another one, Shionfalola says, issue of cybercrime is a war between ignorance and intellect, analog and digital, ethical and unethical. Government approach at the moment is mere manhunt against undisciplined boys that love to show off and noise. The real crooks usually operate on ghost mode. Ofemi again says, this is not to say internet fraud should be encouraged anywhere in Nigeria, but we must do the needful to use some of the things said by your guest in the studio. Some of these boys are brilliant and could help to solve this problem. Only a thief knows how to get another. It sends another. The OP Mesa are not trained especially for this. I'm sure they will only end up like the prescribed SARS. Currently, once you are found using an iPhone, have a dreaded hair, carry a laptop bag, you definitely have a case to answer with the law enforcement agents. Chief Alashila says, personally, think Yahoo boys will either end up poor, dead, or in jail. They just can't fit the 9-to-5 model anymore unless they do a psychological therapy. Abu Abdullah says, dignity is no more in labor, courtesy of the government. Workers are not paid salaries and entitlements. Pensioners are left to die in penury. Youth see these and are encouraged by the decay in the society. I recommend firing squad for convicted ritualists. Ofemi again says, let me say here that some of the big names who celebrate in our society today are guilty of internet fraud, from real fathers to politicians and big business owners in this country. EFCC should widen their scope and not just go after youth, but people with unexplained wealth. Edward Bayomi says, EFCC arrests, prosecutes, and ensure reparation, but with the look of things, one might be tempted to ask if the reparation is to the victims of the nefarious actions of these cyber criminals, or to the private pockets of some people. A typical case of Olegba. Ofemi again says...
That's the response to someone else's comment.
Okay, that's the bitter truth. It has been on for ages and will continue whether we like it or not. It can only be reduced through concerted efforts from the government and the stakeholders.
He was responding to James Afowakwe's comment about Daud ostensibly encouraging, cybercriminal, which we already clarified.
Finally, Akorede Camille says the situation with Yahoo boys in the country has gotten to a stage that everyone will start condemning those involved and those they look up to in this devilish act. It's crystal clear government doesn't have any plan whatsoever for the youths, but that's not an excuse.
Finally, he wishes happy birthday to, in his words, my good friend Benga Fayen, who coincidentally celebrates today with his wife, Queen Daniels, as today is also her birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday to your wife, Queen. And thank you once again, everyone, for your felicitations with Benga. We have an additional comment from Emmanuel.
Yeah, he says, my biggest fear with this open mesa is that these guys will be the new SARS. It's obvious. They don't understand the game of cybercrime at all. So please, are they computer literate? I'm not sure I can answer the question. Once a young boy is seen pressing laptop with an Apple device, he is a suspect. All right.
There's lots of areas we didn't get to cover during the program due to limited time. But I know that last week on Twitter, residents of Ogun State were like sounding the alarm about how, these OP Mesa guys had gone full throttle and, were arresting young guys. I don't know. They were claiming that they were, being profiled. They saw young boys with flashy cars.
Yeah.
But, we'll wait to see how things develop in the coming days with the activities of OP Mesa, especially in the area of cybercrime. Remember that OP Mesa is not just to combat cybercrime, although that's going to be their focus. The governor also did say something about launching a commission, like a financial agency to prosecute, financial crime. So there's a lot of dedication in that regard. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Over to Facebook.
On Facebook, I'll get started with this one. And Aditaya Ademola says, Lola, good morning. Welcome on board. Good morning, Benga. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of good mornings. Okay, Shofola Olayinka says, happy birthday to Benga. Good morning, Lola. Good morning, Mr. Olatunnji. Internet fraud will soon become a thing of the past in Ogun State. I spoke with some Yahoo guys and they told me that relocation remains their case. They have even shaved off the haircut they had and they don't go out again. Okay, Adeniji Abdul Gafar Olawale says, good morning, Splash FM. Sincerely, the rate of cybercrime is increasing on a daily basis. We blame the government on everything, but where are the religious leaders? They are also corrupt. The society is not helpful. We celebrate criminals. What a pity. Those that are warming up to steal are more than the ones we have presently. Okay, well, I see my dad wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wali Fayon, thank you.
Kind of thing.
Thank you for giving birth to Benga.
Yes, so. Okay, Aditaya Ademola again says, well done, guys. I want to disagree with people and Mr. Daud with what the EFCC chairman said, that Ogun State topping the log for cyber crimes in Nigeria. We saying Mr. Governor or the chairman of EFCC are lying. Don't we see by ourselves? Don't let's say because Ogun State is our state, we refuse to tell the truth. And and Daud is not Mr. Governor that said this. It is what the statistics says. Please, let's call a spade a spade. And we say amen to that. Adeniji Abdul Gafar Lawal again says, imagine when you see your classmates driving exotic cars without any tangible work. See, you guys are there at your working place. They are there sleeping at their various houses. Let's celebrate in them, and we should tag them as thieves or religious. Our religious leaders also have a lot to play. Imagine using Yahoo money to build mosques and churches. God is looking at all of us. Sheson Hezekiah says, arresting of dopers, the Yahoos, the handles. So I'm not exactly, I'm not sure I can make a sense of everything you're trying to put up here, but it's, okay, well, I think that's just about it, really.
All right, moving over to WhatsApp now. We do have a number of comments. This seems to be a trend these days. Our comments eating into from pages time, but hey,
we don't have a choice.
Yes, of course, we have to cater to everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Surakat Abdulhamid Abiodun continues with quest for materialism and the get-rich syndrome in the society is a major concern for all these social vices. So parents, government, and religious organizations should come together and work things out. But in the interim, government should create an environment for willing individuals to get something doing. A frustrated individual is prone to temptations of any sort. We also need to de-Westernize ourselves and imbibe the culture that is known to us, and that a working mechanism be put in place to ensure wealth is redistributed amongst various levels of individuals. The next comment is from Olajide Olawale Okoyemi from Bode Oludi Abeokuta, who says, good morning, Panorama. In a society where materialism is celebrated, glorified, and exalted far above intellectualism, this is the result we would continue to get. We all have a role to play to bring morality and values back to the society. The youths are wasting away in decadence. Ahmed Fatai says, we need to look at the areas of failed parenting too. The next comment is from Ridwan Oketade, who says, top of the morning, presenters and analysts. All the challenges we have in Nigeria today started small. Failure to nip it in the bud on time will transform to a monster like what we have now. Strict policies need to be put in place if we want to free ourselves from kidnappings, money rituals, and cyber crimes. From Solomon Afuakwe, my contribution would dwell on the way forward. He lists them out. Number one, the police IT center along Abeokuta Shagamu Road should be empowered and given the task to track cybercrime activities for OP Mesa. Number two, special court for cybercrime cases should be established for speedy adjudication of cyber cases. Number three, public shaming of the court and found guilty to serve as a deterrent to others and their families. Number four, severe punishment for guilty ones. No meaningful rehabilitation will reform a hound dog. Number five, he says, public message to dissuade the youths from going into cybercrime. All media outlets in the state should be persuaded to do this as a social responsibility. On to Nicholas's comment now when he says, at the peak of Job's suffering, his fourth wife told him to curse God and die. And he told her, if we accept good from God, why can't we endure the bad? We enjoy all favorite reports from Ogun, but we cannot withstand bad reports. Shebi, we are now happy that the world feels 17-year-old girls are more threatened than Siberian tigers. All right, that's from Nicholas. Olabode says, people like us too have undergone and in fact are still contending with the harsh, unfavorable realities our successive governments have created. We see every justification and opportunity all around us to be part of the criminal act, yet here we are, we're managing to remain in keeping our heads above water amidst the whole unfavorable realities they keep wanting to cite as weak justifications. The final comment on WhatsApp is from Akinwale from Camp, who says, good morning, Splash. Happy birthday, the bearded one. How do you discourage crime in a society where it seems that crime pays? How do you discourage crime in a society where security operatives carry out their assignment in a questionable manner? How do you discourage crime in a society where the innocent seem to be always guilty and those who took large sum of public funds are asked to pay a certain amount back to the government coffers on the basis of plea bargain? A society where I have lost my right of movement and dressing in a manner that makes me happy. I do not like crime or support it, but I'm saying let he that comes to equity come with clean hands. Well, that's about it on WhatsApp. Thank you, everyone, for the number of comments you sent in on WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook. We do not take it for granted. That's right. But now we have to move over to newspaper review. This is from the pages, and I have Nigerian Tribune with me. I have
Vanguard newspaper.
I'll read the front page of Nigerian Tribune, bringing you the headlines, but let's welcome Abayomi Babalola. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. The major headline from the front page of Nigerian Tribune, Clark to Atiku, Saraki, Tambuwal. Do not run. North has ruled for 45 out of Nigeria's 61 years of independence, he says, while Atiku says, I will make my intention known soon. A report on banditry says 1,192 people were killed in Kaduna in 2021. On insurgency, Borno governor declares over 100,000 persons missing, while gunmen abduct farm owner, 9 workers in Ondo. Buhari says, I will honor agreement with ASU. Ritual killings, traditional worshippers. Ooh, the way this is phrased, as though there's like an association, which isn't so. I mean, like there's religious freedom to associate with any religious organization. Traditional worshippers say Ifa does not support use of human parts for wealth. Court dismisses suit on elevation of Ibadan High Chiefs, clears way for Olubado installation. Cool fever spreads to Guinea-Bissau as gunfire erupts near presidential palace. Reps ask customs to pay 390 million naira compensation to victims in Oyo, Katsina. Oyewo, 91, oldest son recipient dies 8 days after accident. Ambode breaks silence. That's true. He's been missing from the news for a while.
Yeah.
6 active youth participation in politics. And that's about it from the front page of Nigerian Tribune.
Let's take you through Vanguard now from the front page of the paper. The big story stays higher oil prices driving subsidy cost to 3.5 trillion naira. Number of riders, one says landing cost going to 394 naira per litre from less than 360 naira. The second rider, total cost may hit 13.16 naira. Another rider on the recovery projected at 248.16 naira. And the final rider, OPEC suffers 190,000 barrels per day supply shortfall. We have this as well. You see the details of that one, by the way, on page 5 of the paper. Insecurity, kidnappers on rampage in Kaduna, Katsina, Ondo, Ekiti, Abia. You find that on page 8. Strike, ASU should be cognizant of fiscal pressures we are facing. This comes from the President Buhari. You find that on page 8. 2023, we didn't endorse Yahoo Bello for president. This is coming from the Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. Deputy CEO of, okay, now I'm going to skip that particular one. Signed electoral amendment bill now. PDP NAS caucus tells Buhari. Find that one on page 27. 2023, Atiku, Saraki, Tambuwa, other northern aspirants must jettison ambition. That's according to Edwin Clark. You find that on page 12. Nigeria lost $4 billion to oil thieves in 9 months. This is coming from Illumina. You find that on page 19. And finally, 4th mainland bridge construction kicks off second quarter 2022. That's coming from the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Those are the stories on the front page of Vanguard newspaper.
Now let's take a deeper dive into some of these stories. I'll start with leader of the Southern and Middle Belt Forum, Chief Edwin Clark, who has advised former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, and former Senate President Bukola Saraki not to run for the 2023 ticket in the interest of national unity. Also reminding them of the roles they played in 2015 to prevent the re-election of former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan for allegedly violating the zoning principle. Now, we're back again to this issue of zoning. And aside from Atiku Tambuwal Saraki, we've also seen, Kogi State Governor Yahoo Bello, who's also from the north, also declaring interest. But the interesting thing, not just the question of whether all parties should do the honorable thing, in quotes, and abandon their presidential ambitions for the region whose turn it is, which everyone says is the South, is also the fact that many of these political leaders, when it favors them, they often seem to be willing to uphold the spirit of zoning. And when it doesn't favor them, they seem to jettison it. Because Chief Edwin Clark himself, when it was supposedly the turn of the North, he was willing, he was campaigning, canvassing for Jonathan to run. So now he's asking them to abide by the tenets of zoning, but in his time, he wasn't willing to. What do you make of all these, Abayomi?
Well, first, let me say happy birthday to bedded one.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see after.
Please include me in that scene.
Okay. He's all hairs, so he knows what to do. Well, zoning of a thing. It will get to a stage that these zoning arrangements will backfire on everybody, on every region. As we speak today, there are so many people that will tell you that of the 6 regions we have at the moment, 3 have produced the civilian head of states or presidents we've had. And that is the Northwest having 2, the Southwest having 1, and South having 1. What about the Northeast? What about the North Central? What about the Southeast? Like you rightly pointed out that Edwin Clark supported Jonathan's second term bid. Mm-hmm. And he never wanted to hear anything about zoning. But what was paramount to him was that ideally the president should stay for 2 terms.
and any other thing apart from that 2 terms arrangement, he was not in for it. But as fate will have it, it was the man from the Northwest that won. Every one of them, they fight for their own interest, not necessarily the interests of the populace, not necessarily because they want the constitution to be run perfectly, not necessarily because they want fairness and equity. Because when you are talking about fairness and equity, and you talk about the things that favors your side and the things that do not favor your side, you look away. The equity you are talking about or the fairness you are talking about is not there. Like yesterday, I was having a discussion with somebody, and he rightly pointed out that even these Southeast people that people are talking about, how many of them have really shown serious intent about this thing? We all saw what Tinubu did. He came out boldly, and ever since then he has been, in quotes, doing his consultation here and there. But I believe what Tinubu is doing now is even beyond consultation, because you consult before you declare. He has declared. It means that he has gone beyond consultation. Now he's gathering his forces here and there. How many other aspirants are doing that? Probably some of them are doing it underground, but you don't expect votes to come from spirits or from ghosts. You have to intimate people of what your plan is. Back to the issue of zoning. My own opinion, my thinking is that it will get to a stage, this zoning of a thing will backfire on everybody. Now, if Southeast, okay, now that Northwest is leaving the office, if we are to follow the zoning strictly that many people are talking about now, it means that the turn of Northwest again will come in 40 years' time. That is 8 years times 5 regions. And people in the Northwest, will they wait for 40 years before they get there? Southwest now, we are saying we want to get back there. And our man recently left about 16 years ago. Now we are bringing in another person. South will call for theirs very soon. Can't we have a Nigerian, a true Nigerian, that is beyond this ethnic border, that is beyond this religious evangelism we are talking about, that will see himself as a true Nigerian and will do all these things for us? Our constitution should be enough guide for us to be true Nigerian. What do I mean? If everybody that gets to that office follows the dictates of the constitution, there wouldn't be need for this it is my state's turn. Okay, let me bring this to you. I was in a station last week and a caller called in and he said, we are talking about Southwest, and some people are saying the former governor of Ogun State. Is Ogun State the only state in Southwest? These are things that will still come into discussion on this zoning of a thing. So we have to be very careful until we have a true Nigerian that cuts across every region, cuts across every religion. We'll continue to have
we
this
had
problem.
past examples of this true Nigerian that cuts across every region? And
Well, I think Obasanjo was a bit close. But then, the albatross of OBJ was probably that he did not do enough for his own region. That he did much more for the North. And that is one of the things I fear these days. People who knew back then will tell you that OBJ did not get enough support from the Southwest. He got more than enough support from the North. And probably he paid them back. Now Tinubu is coming up. You can see the crowd he's commanding in the north, you can see the kind of support probably he's getting from the north. Peradventure, he wins at the end of the day. And you never can tell. These politicians, they have a way of having that agreement that will give you this support. And this is what you give us in return. By then, we'll come back and cry that Tinubu did not do enough for his own region. Meanwhile, when he needed the support of his kinsmen, they were not there for him. So these are things that we have to look at. If you continue to say, I want my brother and my sister alone to get to power, and you forget about what happens to other families, we won't get to the Canaan land we are talking about. We won't get to that El Dorado.
Okay. Now, you've pointed at the loopholes in the zoning arrangements that we have, but given how divided Nigerians are now, and looking to point out any hint of nepotism or tribalism or ethnicity that they see, how then do we ensure that fairness and equity is protected if we jettison the zoning arrangement? And that it's not just one region which supposedly has the higher votes that ends up winning all the time, because others will feel neglected and not included.
Well, when people use two words interchangeably, you hear some people talk about equity. You hear people talk about equality. Now, when you are talking about equality, you give everybody involved the same ration. But when you are talking about equity or fairness, you give everybody what they are supposed to have, irrespective of the number, irrespective of the status. You give everybody what they are supposed to get. Now, the parameter for you to know what they are supposed to get will now come in. If we have somebody that is fair enough to everybody, take for instance, you take Kano State and you take Ekiti State, and you say, okay, because I'm a Yoruba man, I'm a president from the Yoruba extraction, I want to spend 100 billion for Kano State. And because they are all states out of the 36 states, I'm spending the same 100 billion for Ekiti State. What parameter are you using to give them the same thing? That is equality. But when you now justify spending the same amount you spend in Ekiti, you spend the same amount in Kano State, you can now probably say that, okay, for infrastructures, Kano has gotten to a particular level, which Ekiti has not had. Kano has these things, which Ekiti do not have. Now, if Ekiti should have this particular thing, it will be more beneficial to everybody, not only residents of Ekiti State alone. So, you are now bringing the parameters for using equality. Until we have somebody like that, this problem will continue. You ask that, when are we going to have something like that? You see, as far as we continue talking about rotation or zoning, people will just come in and they will tell you, I want to protect my people's interests. Our brothers from the southeast, some people will tell you today that it is because of this agitation for secession that other parts of Nigeria will not trust them. But can we have somebody that will sit his people down from the southeast extraction, that please, we are better off in a united Nigeria? Whoever gets there as the president, let's say somebody from the north central gets there as the president, and he treats them the way they are supposed to be treated, I want to believe that the second Niger bridge, upon its completion, will give some people from the southeast the audacity to say that Buhari has done well. Because we've had so many heads of state or presidents that were talking about the second Niger bridge and nothing was done about it. Even somebody that was close to their region did not do it. So if you have somebody like that feels that, okay, every region, what do you need? Let's prioritize. And then let's treat everybody fairly. Not equally now. Let's treat everybody fairly. And you follow the dictates of the Constitution. The Constitution has shared so many things for us. For instance, if you must form your cabinet, you have to pick your nominees from every part of the country. You have people heading particular parastatals. And you make the distribution even enough. Maybe this clamor for zoning will subside a little. But then, where is that true Nigerian? If we have individuals that are truly Nigerian in nature and by blood and water in them, do they have the opportunity of getting to these offices we are talking about? These are, okay, in Ogun State here, we have a particular side that has not produced the governor for so many years.
Right.
And 2023 is around the corner. Of the major political parties, which of them is talking about that area to produce the next governor? So it is not that the issue of zoning should be limited to the national level alone. States. Go to your state. It was only Alawa Akala that broke that jinx in Oyo State. Lagos State is fair. They know how they rotate that in Lagos State. So these are things that we are talking about. When you talk about fairness and equity, if it's to your own advantage, you shout to the high heavens. But if it is against you, then you take the other way around.
All right. Well, Surakat Abiodun is drawing our attention to a clarification regarding the second Niger bridge, which actually started under the Jonathan administration in September 2020.
And compare the pace. Compare the
he
pace.
just wants it to be known that it was
it started back
the creation of the Jonathan government.
Okay.
Maybe the completion or the continuation can be given to
you know when the repairs of Lagos Ibadan Expressway have started. Started like 15-20 years back.
It's the Obasanjo administration.
And it has never been completed.
All right.
Okay, let's move on to another story. Well, I don't seem to have that here, but we should talk about it regardless. And it's about the rising wave of coups in Africa. The latest that we have here is an attempt at that's Guinea-Bissau yesterday. Well, let me remind you again that there was a coup, Burkina Faso, that was on the 24th of January this year. That was just 2 weeks ago. So, 2 weeks timeline, another attempt in Guinea-Bissau this time around. Last year, we had a number of Mali, Ethiopia, Sudan, Guinea.
Chad? Was that one in Chad?
There was
an attempt?
there was a way it just seemed to be enmeshed, the one that happened in Chad. My question in this regard is, with all of these coups happening in Africa, is it not dragging the continent back by a number of years?
I don't want to say it's dragging the continent back. He who is on the floor fears no fall. We are at the very basement of all these things. And it couldn't be worse. Even in Nigeria here, there are people that say it in whispers that they wished that it happens. But when you look back at, for those who are old enough to look back at the coups we had in Nigeria and the events that led up to those coups, it's as if you won't blame those who are saying they wished it happened. Just yesterday, I think Falan also was saying that AU should not react when coups are done in countries. You have to act before the coups. There are so many countries in Africa today that their leaders are not doing well at all.
They're democratic leaders, you mean?
Yes, their democratic leaders are not doing well at all. And the people we are talking about, the residents of such countries, we have the military men amongst the residents too, who are watching. A lot of them are even close to the seat of power to know the kind of atrocities that these people in power commit. And they feel that, I want to liberate my people using the power of guns. And they take over power. The unfortunate aspect now is that they get there, in matter of days or weeks that they spend there, they don't feel like living again. That of Burkina Faso, just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Today now he has declared himself as president.
The constitution has been restored.
Yes. If you want normalcy to return, why can't you say, okay, we are putting up a transitional government. These are the people that have been barred from contesting. We want fresh blood. And in 6 months, the election will take place. I am not standing in for election. But a lot of them, once they get to that office and in matter of days, they have tasted what it is to be the number one citizen of the country, they don't feel like living again. For me, the regional governments, ECOWAS, AU, and the likes, will have to start talking to these leaders. Do things that you can imagine when many of these coups, whenever it happens, you see residents coming out on the streets and jubilating. It means that the residents want a change.
But is the change they prefer, is it the coup? Because there's no evidence to show that life under a coup is better than life during a democratic government that is corrupt and ineffective.
You see,
coup leaders themselves, are they working in the interest of the people?
They are. See, when they get to power, the first few days, they will put in some things. In fact, people will be happy that those who are cheating us and showing us that they are cheating us, the first phase is that you are taking them away from them.
Okay.
Now, those of you that now assume power on the basis that some people who were there before were doing wrong things, we now expect you to correct those ills. Like I said, they will get there in a matter of days. They will be immersed much more in what they accuse their predecessors. So, I really don't know what the solution will be, except for the democratically elected leaders to know that people put us there.
Right.
There are things that we are supposed to do and things that we are not supposed to do. If you don't do the right things, these khaki boys can come any day, anytime. And by the time they come, it becomes worse.
Why is it that Africa cannot seem to get away from the shadow of both underdevelopment and coups? Because they are closely related. Where underdevelopment happens, that's like breeding ground for coups.
Yes.
You know, that's the trend in pretty much all these countries that these coups have happened. The military leader stated that it was because of the ineffectual nature of the democratic government that they're stepping in to handle things. So why is it that African countries cannot seem to get past this scourge of underdevelopment and the coups that subsequently follow? We had a cessation in coups for over a decade or more, but now they seem to be coming back.
They're coming back.
And even if they abate now, there's no guarantee that in the next 10 years or so you won't see the same wave. You don't see that happening as often in Europe. So what is it about the African continent?
North America.
Some people say it's colonization. Do you think that's why we're burdened with this?
Well, I don't want to go that route because I just don't want to go that route. But then, in Africa, where underdevelopment prevails, where unemployment is the in thing, where poverty is the in thing, you expect reaction. And if you have a man that is hungry, there's probability that he will get angry, and you expect irrational decisions from such a person. you see so many of these developed countries that they do not wait for their people to get to the extreme before reactions come in. But here in Africa, people suffer. The people in government will see it. It's not that they suffer in the closet. They suffer, and the people in charge, they see it. In fact, some of these leaders are the ones that brings the sufferness to their people. And you expect these people to fold their arms and watch. We were talking about kidnapping. We were talking about money rituals. There are foundations for all these things. When the educational system of the country collapsed, what did we do? We were thinking that the collapsed building will build itself up again. No, it's not going to work. Some people will bring examples of educational system or health system in foreign countries and tell you that things work on their own. But here, even when you have personnel to run things, they don't work. So you expect that such hungry and angry people will react. And this is part of the reactions we are talking about. The military boys that are executing the coup, it is because they have the power of guns.
Right. But
to rely on.
Abayomi, I didn't just ask why Africa is prone to coups. I asked why Africa itself is underdeveloped, because that's what leads to the coup. So why is it that a lot of African countries, the democratically elected leaders, a lot, not just one, like a lot of African countries, seem to impoverish the people even more, while pocketing the money in their
Lola, I understand your
in
question.
their own coffers, and at the same time, in some cases, perpetuating themselves in power. In the case of Robert Mugabe, who you cannot say is a military leader, he wasn't a coup, but
yes,
he used fraudulent means to stay there, for a long time.
Lola, I said I don't want to go that way, but let me put it this way. Maybe it's part of our blood in Africa, because all these things we are talking about has to do with leadership.
Right.
Once you get to office and you do the right thing, these people, they travel to all these so-called good countries, developed countries, and they see what they do. Some of them, immediately they assume office, they will tell you they are going for training. Some of them, even immediately after their election, before they are sworn in, they go there and they tell you they went for some training and the likes. What have they imported from all those trips? You wonder. So why is Africa underdeveloped, or why will Africa remain underdeveloped? Is because we do not have that leaders that will take us away from where we are. They see all these things that work elsewhere. Some people will come here and tell you about the beginning of the success of Malaysia. Started from somewhere, started from us here. They came here to understudy us, and today we see what they are doing. The Asian tiger started somewhere, but we decided that we just want to remain where we are. Let the rich get richer, and the poor, we keep them in perpetual poverty.
Before we move away from this, I want us to look at Nigeria as an example for some reason. We've had over 20 years of uninterrupted democracy now. And like I did reference before, I mean, Guinea-Bissau is a West African country, Mali is a West African country, Burkina Faso is a West African country. So there seemed to be some sort of pattern that we're seeing now. West African countries, I mean, maybe take away Ghana, take away Nigeria.
Cote d'Ivoire even had...
Cote d'Ivoire had some sort of uprising at some point. So can these countries not learn... I mean, two questions. What has kept Nigeria away from that path of coups in the number of years we've had it? And can these countries not learn a thing or two from us?
If you look at, since we started enjoying this democracy uninterrupted, 21 years plus now, we've had 2 army generals in power.
Right.
Which were involved in coup when they were 7. and they know what to do. That is one of the reasons why these retired military officers will always come back to politics. They have their backing in the armed forces, and like a subtle threat to the civilians, that we have to follow the dictates of these retired men, or else their boys are still in the barracks and anything can come from the barracks. Probably by the time we ease them out and we start having people with civilian backgrounds, maybe we might be forced to go back to coups. It's my fear. It's my fear. But for now, because they have somebody that knew everything about them, that was involved, that has been involved in a couple of coups himself, that has been a sort of check on them. But if we have somebody that do not have the military background, what will happen? We cannot tell for now. But more importantly, if you have treated the residents, your countrymen, very well, even if this military boys takes over, we've seen countries where coup will happen and the people in that country will tell them that we prefer the civilian to continue. We don't want you.
Right.
We've had countries like that. Okay. But in the case of Nigeria, if it happens today, which I don't pray it does, I wouldn't know which side of the divide Nigerians will be.
Okay.
0817-444-1067, 0817-555-1067, 0704-400-1067. This is our first call on from the pages. Good morning.
Hello, what's your name? Oh,
okay. Well, we'll see about... Hello?
Am I clear?
Yes, you are now.
Good morning.
This is Abayomi Babalola.
Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Nicholas.
Yeah. Can I ask you if you are officially a Christian?
You want to ask me if I'm a Christian? Which one is official and unofficial?
Okay. Okay. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Okay. If you're a Christian, I pray to you that you will naturally want the next president to be your pastor, especially if you're a Pentecostal Christian. But the man in the movie Professor Ishak Akitola would prefer a Yoruba Muslim. And you would forgive him because the last Southern presidents were Christians through Obasanjo and Jonathan. Whether it is an ideology or some of the vaccine shots he may have received through bullion vans. You see, the kind of man you want to talk about that should be the next president does not exist. I know you know Clark Aki, one of the finest minds on political economy and social development in Africa. I was privileged to stay in a hall named after him in my first degree. He said ethnicity is not a fossilized determination, but a living presence produced and driven by material and historical forces. There are 400 tribes in this country. For 8 years, it will mean 3,200 tribes. If we use 1960 or even 1999, the Yoruba and the Fulani cannot say they have been cheated from this presidency. And if we want to use 1960, Gowon is from the North Central. He used 7 years. But I am truly concerned about a leader that will take us to Eldorado. But trying to say that he will not be moved to his religion, his tribe, in this country we have people who are so attached to their identity, they have tribal marks. To even distinguish them from their families.
Nicholas, please wrap up your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, but why can't we even say that the next president should be a woman? Because they don't have the numbers. Because from Lodugard to Buhari, it seems the men are faced. And when we talk about this next presidency, we almost don't think of it being a woman. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. WhatsApp, Facebook, and Twitter are still there. Facebook is Splash FM 106.7. Drop a comment in the comment section. Twitter, tweet at us, Splash FM 1067. Hashtag Panorama when you tweet. WhatsApp is 0817-555-1067. You can also call that number as well as these other numbers, 0817-444-1067. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Lola?
I'm very well, thank you. What is your
Good.
name?
I'm Abiodun Morakinyo.
Abiodun, thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good. I've listened to your guest there, and I've listened to your own contribution to. Yes, Nigeria, we are in a tango, but like your guest said there, we have traveled all over the place. Our leaders have traveled all over the place. They have seen things. And when they get into power, they find it so difficult to interpret what they have seen. And he made mention of two generals that have ruled this country. But there's one thing that is lacking. Our leaders are visionless. I don't call them leaders. I rather call them our rulers are visionless. They don't take what you and I need into consideration. In your studio there, if you dare speak the utmost truth, they will descend on you. Definitely, there cannot be any improvement. Now, on the studios that they are better off. When you vote somebody into power, the next thing he will do is how he's going to come and oppress you. The oppression is what is going to be paramount in his mind, because he knows that once you are independent, he cannot get your votes. So they make sure they suppress us for them to be there.
Please begin to wrap up your thoughts. We need to allow others.
Sure. Okay, I will do that now. But you have to now pity our president, our governors. If you have a friend who is a governor, just ask him, what are your challenges? I have a friend who was a governor before. He has good intention for your state that I live. But once he gets to the office, he then gets confused. A lot of underground goes into it. But don't worry, another day we will talk better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abiodun. We appreciate your contribution.
I think we should get to the ones on socials now.
On WhatsApp, Abiodun Surakat says, if there is really any pace, 7 years should be enough to build bridge now. So let us just be objective and talk as a journalist. Still going back to the second Niger bridge. This is the bridge he wants to die on. Well, that's not literal. That's just a saying on social media. Adetayo Adeniro says, good morning once again, Splash FM. Okay, well, we have to be careful when talking about military coups, because it is our duty. We are obligated to celebrate and enthrone democracy. So any rhetoric or any conversation that it seems to promote, yes, we cannot amplify that. So if I'm not reading your comments, that's why. Okay, so I'll come back to Adetaya dinner if I can find a way to edit what he said. Nicholas says, happy birthday to Benga Beg. I almost forgot. Meanwhile, we have been to Bayelsa or Ogun. The president does not necessarily lead to El Dorado. There is no plan for the second Niger bridge, he says. Akinwale here once again talking about coup. To me, I don't know what system of government we practice here. Fundamental rights are as good as taken from us. You protest, or criticize them, you are dealt with. Maybe this is Milimo crazy. Okay. Over to Facebook now.
Okay, on Facebook, Adetaya Ademola says, good morning once again. Concerning what Chief Edwin Clark said, there is nothing bad in aiming from these people who are aspiring for the position of president. Let them come and tell us their manifestos, but they should not. They should realize Nigerians are not Mumu anymore. May God bless our dear nation. Amen.
On Twitter, Shion Falola says, imagine the level of unemployment in the country, and we have a night post that has presence in almost every city and town in the country. A night post that can easily create over 100,000 jobs with a better e-commerce portal, payment merchant, warehousing, and logistics. Back to Adetaya Adeniro's comment, he says, I used my life with 3 military leaders in Nigeria. It's a good thing Mr. Ambode has broken his silence. I want him to come out and tell us his mission this time around. Honestly, if there were no primaries, Governor Sanwo-Olu cannot win this wonderful man. Benga Lola, please tell Nigerian youths to go and have their PVC. This is the only power we have now. Thank you, Engineer Taya Adinera, and everyone else for your contribution.
What a way to end it with the bit of information from Adetaya Adinera there. Go get your PVCs.
Absolutely. We co-sign that message. We co-sign that message. Get your PVC. Have the intention to vote. Vote when the day comes. Encourage as many people to get their PVCs as possible. And thank you, Abayomi Babalola, for your time.
Thank you for having me. God bless Nigeria.
Panorama returns tomorrow with Binga and Dara.
No, you have not invited our listeners for the party
Well,
after party.
and just say thank you for the wishes so far. Just check out social media. If you're not on social, you might not know the venue. So
and I do think it's an anomaly though that the celebrant is the one expected to throw a party. I mean, shouldn't it be other people who love the celebrant and want the best for the celebrant who should celebrate him? I mean, I'm only saying that because my birthday is coming soon. Thank you, everyone. Panorama will return tomorrow, as I said. My name is Lola Meduteni.
I am Benga Faye. Have a fantastic day.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
I just gotta tell you,
we're gonna turn it up.
Pumping through the Rock City and all of Ogun State comes a distinct sound of quality